G'day everyone, Jason Nunn, Fisherman's Warehouse Marine, Sweet Street, Warners Bay, your Newcastle Honda marine dealer, guys. And Thursday today, and typical, 30 knot westerly, howling, absolutely smoking in at Nobbies and blowing really hard down here at Eleebana as well. This weekend looks absolutely perfect. We've needed a bit of a break from this wind. Tomorrow's not too bad either, and Saturday and Sunday, fantastic. Tomorrow we've got sort of variable winds, west, west-northwest, maybe a bit of east-northeast at the end of it all, but nothing more than around about 15 knots, or as they say, westerly winds to a northwest wind Saturday into Sunday. So this 3-day stretch, basically Friday, Saturday, Sunday, will be one of the best stretches we've had for quite some time. Full moon rolled through last night. Got some really nice tides for our fishing on Saturday in particular. High tide, 10:30, and it's a 1.87 high tide with the low tide 4:45 in the afternoon. Now we're already starting to see this transition of tides. So we're starting to just come through the equinox in the next couple of days where you get the equal amount of daylight and nighttime hours. Our tides are starting to swing. We're starting to see an increase in height in the morning and a decrease in height in the afternoon. So it's really starting to do that summer swing around. Offshore out wide, the water looks perfect, particularly south of the Southern Canyons and above the mids up towards the car park and maybe a bit off the bay itself. There's a little bit of an uphill current off our part of the coast and out on probably, what are we going, Nora to mids, but it doesn't look too bad and the temperature's really good. I think a few guys will get out. I know there's certainly a few anglers getting out tomorrow and no doubt on the weekend. Still chasing some yellowfin and no doubt some striped marlin, which have been around, but out wide, looks really, really good with this weather forecast. On those farm areas, that deeper water, because it's westerly, you're not going to get peppered too hard. Still nice snapper offshore, but kings, snapper, trag, and still a few perch south of Texas. At Texas, down to the Terrigal mark. Had some really good reports, particularly last Saturday when that weather sort of just abated, as we sort of anticipated it would have, for snapper on the inshore reefs. Now, water depths, guys, shallow. That big tide on Saturday, 187, plenty of scope on that shallow water. 15 to 25 metres, maybe out to 30 metres, but a lot of fish, 45s to 55s, with the better one amongst them, throwing plastics and or floating baits. Those guys that were fishing floating baits, getting towed by some very big tailor fish in excess of 50 centimetres. So right the way through, but in particular, north of Dudley, Merriweather, Bar Beach, up to Newcastle's fishing very well on that hard reef section, down towards Redhead and down Catherine Bay Cavesy, the same. So there's a real good opportunity to fish offshore with westerly winds and minimal swell this weekend. On the rocks, the westerly winds are going to be in your favour as well. It's late September, plenty of time to get into some drummer. There are still a few tailor, but Ludric, brim, and obviously some nice snapper off the rocks at the present moment. The beaches, a lot of salmon, guys. Water's not too bad, 17, 18 degrees, but I was down at Marks Point there for a few hours this morning and the water on that run-in tide had that real aqua look to it. So the water's quite clean and it'll be ideal for any beach and rock activity. Back in the channel, been a lot of salmon last weekend working between Granny's Hole and Lucy's up in that area there on that run-in tide. But there are a few at the bridge in the deeper water in front of the RSL and back up through. And again, you can see how hard this wind's blowing here now. It will abate after tonight. So the next few days look absolutely perfect. Plenty of mulloway being caught and some really nice fish. But we're still seeing this trend of lake snapper and there's quite a few fish in the lake at the present moment. Seeing a few brim on the flats and of course tube worms for whiting. They'll start to get increased now. Tube worms to you. You'll be able to order those online or ring them through and Matt will take care of that for you. But we're going to start to see this water warm up. Remember, we're not far off that long weekend coming up in October as well. So we're going to see these conditions settle and plenty of advantages. A lot of flathead moving into the shallows. So you've just got to move around for your flathead. My tip is that central part of the lake as well where all the mulloway and tailor are. But get into the channel on that run-out tide and the last of the tides always preferred. Still a few ludric, but there's plenty of fish off the rock walls in the channel. There's a few reds getting caught, brim and the odd flatty. So there's a lot of options for our shore-based angler. Now something to make mention of, that at the moment there's a yacht that's sunk on the eastern side of Marks Point. It's on a swing mooring out there, but you'll only see its mast coming out. It's on a 45-degree angle facing south. So if you're heading out early or late at the moment, you'll need to be well aware of that because it's not lit. So just be aware of that yacht mast, and you won't see the yacht. It's on the bottom. All in all, guys, be careful out there this weekend. It looks absolutely perfect. No excuses. You've racked up too many brownie points, guys. Let's get out there and let's catch a few this weekend. I'll see you next week.